What up, YouTube? G for Leader here once again, and I basically want to start off this video by saying I like Legend of Korra. I like it. Don't get me. I've made a video about it before, stating the things I loved about it. You know, the things they did right. You know, I liked it from episode 1 to 10. I felt like episodes 1 through 10 were fantastic episodes. You know, just a great series indeed. You know, but with that being said, the series finale was shit. Let's be honest now. Let's be honest. Let's be honest right now. The series finale was shit. Let's be real about it. Let's look at it from a logical perspective. They rushed through that shit. We know they rushed through that shit. We know Amon didn't get no justice. We know this shit. You know how you going to have a villain that's fucking everybody up from episodes 1 through 10, and then in the last 2 episodes he get his ass whooped. I feel like they pulled a Bleach on me. That's what I feel like they pulled. I feel like they pulled a Bleach. I feel like they created an Aizen moment where basically the villain is basically humiliating everybody through the entire series until the end, and then the protagonist pulls some miracles out their ass and win. And that's how I feel like the series finale ended. I'm not going to review it. I'm not going to talk about everything that happened because I feel like everybody already done went over it. I'm just saying why it sucked, you know, to me anyway. The pacing was bad. The pacing was very bad. I feel like there was not much character development. I feel like the way they rushed it, there wasn't really any character development like I wanted it to be. I feel like I don't know much about the characters yet, you know. I feel like I don't know much about Mako and Bolin outside of Bolin being an idiot and Mako being a jackass. They bending is good, but Mako is a douchebag. You know, that whole Asami shit. Basically, what this dude said was, "Thank you for the money. Thank you for the money. Thank you for sponsoring my team. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for putting me a house over my head, putting a roof over my head. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the love and everything. But yeah, fuck you. I love Korra." I feel like that's what he did. Douchebag etiquette. I feel like the most douchebag thing ever. You know, just douchebag. And I feel like Bolin, was supposed to be the comedy relief, but I felt like he would have been funnier if we got to know more about him. He could have been a great Sokka had they executed that right. I feel like they just didn't put enough into Bolin to. I mean, they didn't. I don't know. I just feel like he was an incomplete character. I feel like he was just a walking punchline, a walking hit or miss punchline. And I feel like that's what he felt like to me. And Korra, I had no problems with. Korra was okay outside of the ending where, hey, Mako says I love you, and I'm sad. I don't want none of that shit. Get off me. And then, hey, I got my bending back. Okay, now I love you. Now I can say. It's kind of like they reminded me of them stupid teenagers that would date each other for like 2 weeks and they already saying I love you. That's what they reminded me of. They reminded me of them ignorant teenagers that do that shit. They don't know what love means. They just throwing the word out there. And I feel like that's what they was doing. I feel like Asami was made a bitch. I feel like they hyped up this Fire Army, the Fire Nation fleet of ships like it was going to be the greatest bending war we ever seen, like that could be even rival the Sozin's Comet War in Avatar: The Last Airbender. I felt like they was going to do that, but alas, no. The whole army, the things in the water blew up the ships, and the whole Pearl Harbor scene of the planes blowing up the ships and shit. I feel like what happened to all of the people, all of the Fire Nation troops that after the ship? They only focused on General Ira. What happened to the rest of them? just shit like that. I just feel like they rushed too much, and the whole thing with the air bending shit. Um, you supposed to reach a spiritual state to be able to unlock airbending. Airbenders are spiritual, and somehow Korra unlocked it through being scared or some shit. She unlocked it through being scared or wanting to save Mako or something. Just I don't get it. So I don't get to get it. And the whole thing about how Tenzin and them, they was Lin sacrificed herself for them to get away. We saw them get away. Then in the finale they tied up. How the fuck did they get tied up? At what point were they captured? They ain't gonna tell us that shit though. So the fact that they were captured, why did Lin sacrifice herself? That just means her sacrifice didn't mean a fucking thing. Just her sacrifice meant nothing. It meant nothing, So it just kind of made me go, huh? Just gave me one of those moments. Not to mention, okay, we found out Amon is Noah talk. That's all cool and everything. They showed a whole backstory of everything. Yokan or whatever the dude name is was abusive dad. Okay, but was that really what they showed? They showed up until the point where he was a teenager and he ran away, and then they just said he just turned into Amon. So where's that whole chunk of time where he ran away and he became Amon? Where's that whole chunk of time in between? What happened then? What made him hate all benders and put him on this quest? How he get the name Amon? What happened? Didn't explain that to us either. I just felt like they did a rush job. I felt like, yes, you could tell it was made to be a 12-episode series, and they rushed through it. They rushed through it. They rushed through the last 2 episodes. I didn't like that. I felt like when she lost all her bending, that opened up the gate for them to elaborate on the series and have her go through basically the same thing Aang went through. Go through the books as he learned all his bending back and regain all his abilities to bend again. I felt like had they done that, things would have made more sense. They would have had more time to explain shit. But no, they squandered that. Instead, they just gave her. I felt like it was a video game, and they put in a cheat code to unlock all bending, a cheat code, and I felt like that's how Korra did it. Not through actual hardcore training, not nearly as much as Aang trained. I just like she put in a cheat code, and that's how she got it. But okay, all them visions that Aang had, no avatar gave Aang no ability, but when Korra have a vision, the vision can unlock bending for her and all. Okay, like I said, just far too much stuff not explained, and I felt like a rush job, and I feel like I hope for a season 2 so they can explain stuff. That's basically it. But before people get mad at me and tell me I'm wrong for how I feel and shit, I'm just saying, don't get me wrong. I loved the series. I loved it. I loved the series. It was action packed and shit. I loved it. I love action. You could tell, but the season finale was booty. I'm sorry. It was straight ass. I'm just being honest. I call it how I see it. It was ass, but like I said, if they give us a season 2, hopefully we get some explanations. That's all I'm hoping for. But anyways, hit me down in the comments below. Tell me how you felt about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell me how you feel about the season finale. G4 Leader here, signing off.